Hey everyone, Cole here with trainwithcole.com. I wanted to talk about something here on my way home from Pennsylvania. My wife and I went to my wife's cousin's wedding that she was in. It was yesterday. So we came up this weekend, and here it's early Monday morning, and we're heading back down. Actually, my wife's already home. But it was a quick whirlwind trip, but we had a blast. Erica and Jeff, if you watch this, congratulations, have a blast on your honeymoon. Anyway, I was driving home, and so when I drive for a couple hours, I just think, and so thought of something I wanted to talk about, and that is why you shouldn't change your exercise or training program just for the sake of it. In the personal training industry at large, folks who are just looking to lose a little bit of weight, maybe get a little bit stronger, put on a little bit of muscle, people who aren't super serious, don't have any high, lofty, extreme goal, I find that they are oftentimes program hoppers. And you know what I mean by this is somebody, maybe you get on a new plan or a program and you follow it for a handful of weeks, and then you get bored of it and then you switch to something else, or you feel like you don't get any results, so you switch to something else. That's very common. What's worse, however, in the industry is personal trainers or coaches who do this. That every 2 to 4 weeks, they'll quickly change something. And I'm not saying that changing a program or a training routine is wrong, not at all. What I am saying is changing it for the sake of it when there's not a good reason to, that might not be the wisest decision. Now, before I continue, I want to give the caveat. Any good personal trainer and coach should be constantly reviewing programs. They should be constantly making adaptations and changes that make the program more optimal. But the changes I'm referring to are the ones that are born out of feelings of boredom or the feeling like you're not making any progress quickly. Okay, so the thing you have to understand about those two feelings is sometimes they're legitimate and sometimes they're not. If you feel like you're not making progress, you need to assess several variables to see if that's true or not. Depending on what your goal is, if it's to lose, body fat, is the scale going down? Are measurements going down? Are you appearing leaner in the mirror? You need to look at some of those things to determine if that feeling like you're not making progress is in fact true. Conversely, if you feel bored, why do you feel bored? Is it just because you don't like the monotony of the same thing over and over again? Well, that's not necessarily a reason to change anything, because if the program you're doing is giving you results, even though if it's consistent and steady and similar from day to day or week to week, that's not a good reason to change it either, just because you're bored. A common reason I hear people change things up is because they say stuff like, "Oh, I see it, want to shock the body, muscle confusion, or just totally adapt to something new." Okay, first of all, muscle confusion isn't really a thing. Yes, the body is constantly adapting to the training that we do. And so there are times when, yes, it is appropriate to change training to get better adaptations. But what you need to realize is the results that we want are, in fact, the adaptations the body is making. For example, if your goal is to get stronger and you're following a training program that's increasing your strength, your body is getting stronger. That's the adaptation your body is making to that program. So sometimes that's what you want. You don't want to change to just cause new stimulus to the body or to confuse the body or to force new adaptations just because, again, it has to fit into the larger picture of, is the plan that I'm doing giving me the most optimal results? If not, what can I change to get back on the most optimal results path? Or if it is giving me great results, then I shouldn't touch it at all because it's working. And that's the point I really want to stress, is don't necessarily change something just for the sake of changing it. Again, there could be good reasons to change something, so that's fine if you're a trainer or a coach or somebody who's just doing your own programming or for training or nutrition, and you feel like making this change would make things more optimal. Then awesome, go make it more optimal. I just don't want to see people change stuff for the sake of changing stuff. So that's just what I wanted to point out. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Again, a lot that can go into that, but I think that's just a general point I wanted to make.